across the globe. Hi everyone,
Yes.
this is Simran from Delhi.
Yes. Hello everyone. I'm Chaitanya from Delhi as well.
So, yeah, and I think it's time we get started. So, thank you all again for joining today's session. And today's session is about Azure networking and AI. And we have Simran Rajhans with us today to talk about it and share her knowledge with us. And she is from India and she works as a cloud engineer and she is having almost six Azure certifications. And she will be walking us through all the topics and the agendas we have talked in the registrations and all. So let us hear from her.
Thank you so much, Sarak, for that introduction. Hi guys, I'm Simran again, and I'll be giving you a walkthrough for Azure networking as well as AI and how we can use this knowledge in the business use cases as well as for taking up certifications and gaining knowledge that is very important if you are going to be as a part of cloud or going to be in any service which you are using, like from being a data engineer or being just a cloud engineer or DevOps engineer as well. So I hope this will be useful to you. I'll start sharing my screen if that's okay.
Yes. I'm sorry to interrupt. Like I think there is some sound issue, like it has some breaking or something like that. It's a mic problem or
Okay, am I audible now?
yeah, but it is audible, but it has some noise or something.
Okay, just
Is
give
it
me a
your
second.
microphone connected to wire or something?
I,
If
I I guess. Just give me a second. I'll fix it.
sure.
Am I audible to you now? Uh, Clear voice maybe.
Yes, I think it's
Is better. Maybe sometimes there
it
is some sound
some
issues from my teams only.
I think it's
It,
still
it
there, like some noise that is coming in with the your sound.
we don't have that noise cancellation in Teams, right? I'll just check the device settings. Hello.
Yes.
Is it now better or I should get my headphones back? I've removed it.
No, it's still there actually.
I think there's some issues from my Teams only. Uh,
Okay. We think you can rejoin, I think. That's one thing we can try.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, I'll just rejoin, okay? And let me see if I can do anything else also.
Okay. Sorry everyone for that technical issue. Been with the teams for a long time now, so it comes in and goes for whoever is kind of new to teams, I think. So um, for me and my team, I'm sorry for the delay that we are caused due to the technical issue, but we'll fix it as soon as possible and we'll get started. And I would like to announce, I think there are 100 people there. Thank you all, and there will be a certificate of participation to all who fills the attendance form, and I will be sharing that attendance form. You can fill that out and just we'll be sending it out after the session, and the recording of the session will be available in our YouTube channel, and it is available in the chat box itself, or I can share it once more for you. So I have shared that our YouTube channel, and you can find all the certification trainings and other events that we have tried so far. So if you're asking for the session, how long is it's a 1 hour long session.
Hello?
Yes.
Better?
Hello. Yes, it's
Yeah.
better now. Yeah.
Okay, okay, great. So I'll just share the screen and get started.
Yes.
Let me know if my screen is visible.
Yes, the screen is visible now.
Okay, perfect. So today we are going to get a walkthrough on networking and AI with Microsoft Azure. I'm Simran Rajans. I am a cloud engineer at Sears Inc. and I have a 1 year experience with Azure and an experience of Google Cloud. So the basic agenda we are going to cover today is about what is networking, the components, the Azure AI services, its visual tools, basic NLP, what is used in AI, and the use cases. So Azure networking is a communication protocol for connecting multiple resources via the internet. Microsoft also provides various services and tools under Azure that makes the network strong and easy to manage. So some of the capabilities are connectivity services in which the Azure resources and on-prem resources are using any or combination of these networking service like virtual network, WAN, express route, VPN gateway, NAT gateway, DNS, peering service, and we have application protection services, in which we protect the applications using networking services like load balancer, private link, firewalls, network security groups, etc. In the application delivery services, we deliver the applications in Azure network using CDN, front door service, traffic manager, application gateway, internet analyzer, and load balancer as well. In the network monitoring, we have monitoring can be done through network watcher, express route monitor, Azure monitor, VNet terminal access port, that is also known as TAP. So I guess with this, I have already named a lot of networking components. So now let's just dig a bit and understand what virtual network is, and how everything is interlinked in networking. Uh, when the virtual network is created, the services and the virtual machines within the Azure network interact securely with one another. Since Azure's core services use virtualization, we usually refer these networks as virtual networks only. VNet is basically scoped to a resource group. So all the services we create or configure are in a particular resource group, which is present in the subscription. You can implement multiple virtual networks within each resource group. So always here's a tip: as a business preview, we always try to use big virtual networks which have a great range of CIDR ranges, and not small virtual networks, so that an organization can work smoothly with less hustle. And then it is also scoped to a single region or location. However, multiple virtual networks from different regions can be connected through using the virtual network peering. So as the advantages are already given here, it has isolated environment. Subnets have access to internet, that is by default, and it is easy to direct traffic from resources. It is highly secure and easy connectivity is done. So it is highly sophisticated network topologies also. As the advantages, I have already said it. Moving on, let's just take a glance of its components. So the subnets basically enable you to segment the virtual network into one or more subnetworks that allocate a portion of the virtual network's address space to each subnet. So if I say that my CIDR range for virtual network is 10.0.0.0.0/16, now I'll have a portion of that network range like 10.1.0.0/16 or /20, that whenever I'll be configuring a virtual machine, I'll get that IP from the subnet range only. This also improves the address allocation efficiency. From the IP addresses, if any resource like VM has been allocated with an IP address, which can either be public or private, as I just said. So public IPs are basically assigned to all the Azure public facing communication, and by default, a dynamic IP address is assigned to the Azure resource. Each time, if the service is stopped, like if the VM is in stop stage, the IP releases and a new IP will be assigned whenever the machine will start. If we select the static IP that is assigned, then the IP address stays for the Azure resource until it is deleted, until the VM is deleted. So if we have to do communication between on-prem to Azure or from any two clouds or anything, we can set that IP to static IP for that VM, so that we don't need to change those firewalls, or we don't need to change that code in our another system, so that we have to connect it. Private IP addresses can connect via VPN gateway, express route, or even when the Azure resource is on a separate VNet. Next, we have routing. So routing delivers the information by choosing an appropriate path from source to destination. Like for each subnet, virtual network automatically routes traffic and creates a routing table. So many of you may or may not know that whenever we create a VPN gateway between, so let's suppose we are creating a VPN gateway between Azure and GCP, then after setting up the VPN gateway, there will be a automatically created route table which can manage the routes, like the outbound and the inbound routes. Through that we can directly see how many packets and from what route the packets are going. At the last, we have network security groups, which is the primary tool that controls and enforces network traffic rules. It is a firewall that protects the virtual machine by limiting the network traffic, and it restricts the inbound and outbound
Hi,
network
Simran.
traffic
I'm sorry
depending.
to interrupt the session. I think the
Yes.
slide is not moving. It's still in the virtual network, VNet.
Yes, yes. Surak, I've kept the slides small. Okay, so as you can see, the components of the VNets are listed below only. Like it has subnets, IP addresses, routing, and network security groups.
Correct, got it, got it. The attendees are
Yes,
just asking
actually,
for it, so that is the reason.
yes. Yes, I'm sorry,
Got it.
guys, but I thought that I would be giving you a direct live demo session, but due to some issues, my Microsoft Azure and my friend's Microsoft is not working. Our subscription is not working right now, so I couldn't set up. I couldn't do the setup and give you a live demo. So I'm just presenting this, but whenever we connect next time, I'm sure that I'll be coming with a live demo and such presentations will not be needed and the session will be more interesting.
Got it. Got it. I
So
hope.
just
Yeah.
yes. uh,
Yeah.
okay,
Let's
so
go
I
on.
was saying about the yeah, I was saying about the network security groups. How many of you have already experienced with AWS or Azure? Okay, can anyone speak? Like, do they have that permission to speak?
No, they do not have the permission.
Okay, okay, no issues. So, guys, you know these whatever like in GCP, VNet is basically known as VPC, and Amazon also in AWS it is known as VPC only, which is a virtual private connection. So these whatever I have said till now is not only applicable for Azure but also applicable for other clouds as well. This is the basic foundation which is same across every cloud provider, even if it is Google Cloud, AWS, Oracle, or anything. These are some basic things. And as said, this was a very basic concept, and network security layer, like talking about network security groups, it is another massive concept to understand, and it will take time as the cloud is made in multifolds only. Yes, so here we are. We have several components like load balancer, application gateway, express route, VPN gateway, virtual WAN, Azure DNS, NAT gateway, content delivery network, and traffic manager. If I tell you about cloud load balancing, it refers to distribute load incoming network traffic across a group of backend services or servers, and it operates on layer 4 at the open system interconnection. That is the OCI model, if I say so. And it is basically the single point of contact for clients. It also provides very low latency and high throughput and can scale up to millions of flows depending on the traffic of TCP and UDP applications. As I said, it is a layer 4 on the OCI model. It works on the TCP and UDP applications. And there are two types of load balancers, public and private. The public will be providing outbound connections for virtual machines inside the VNet, and the internal or private load balancer is used everywhere where the private IPs are needed at the front end only. Next, as we have application gateway, it is a web traffic load balancer. It works on layer 7, and it enables us to manage traffic to the web applications. It is an if I describe it in words, it is an application delivery controller as a service. Like we have another services, it is the application delivery controller as a service which offers layer 7 load balancing capabilities for all the applications. And the express route enables to extend the on-prem networks into the Microsoft cloud over a private connection. And it does not work on the internet, it has a separate private connection. And with express route we can establish connections to Microsoft cloud services such as Azure 365 and Dynamics 365. Next, we have VPN gateway, which usually helps us to create an encrypted cross-premises connections to virtual network from on-premises locations to create encrypted connections between the VNets. So basically, whenever we create a VPN gateway, one of the major use cases are migration. Like whenever we need to migrate from on-prem or another cloud to Azure, then we need VPN gateway to migrate all those workloads successfully. Another major use case is the connectivity. Whenever we are dividing the traffic or maintaining the traffic between two clouds or in the workloads, then we need VPN gateway for the connection. So there are basically three types of VPN gateway connections, that is site to site, point to site, and VNet to VNet. VNet to VNet is basically used when we are creating a VPN gateway in Azure only, which is used from one VNet to another VNet. And point to site is used from our local system to the Azure system. And site to site can be used for creating a VPN gateway between two clouds or on prem to Azure. Next, we have virtual WAN, and it is a networking services that provides optimized and automated branch connectivity. And through Azure, it brings together many cloud connectivity services like site-to-site VPN, express route, point-to-site user VPN into a single operational interface. And it is very useful for a lot of architecture diagrams. And then the DNS is another major service we have in networking, which is a hosting service for DNS domains that provides name resolution by using Azure infrastructure. And by hosting the domains in Azure, you can easily manage your DNS records by using the same credentials, APIs, tools, and billing as your other Azure services. Next, we have NAT gateway. So it simplifies basically all the outbound only internet connectivity for virtual networks. And when it is configured on a subnet, all the outbound connectivity will be used specified static public IP addresses. In the CDN, which is Content Delivery Network, it offers all the developers a global solution for rapidly delivering a high bandwidth content to all the users by catching their content at the physical nodes across the world. It is very useful, and it works with all of the use cases. Like whenever there's a complex use case where they need high bandwidth content to the users, we use CDN. And in the traffic manager, it is a DNS based traffic load balancer which will enable to distribute the traffic optimally or the services across the globe to all the regions. And while providing high availability and responsiveness, it also provides a range of traffic routing methods to distribute traffic like priority or weighted, performance, geographic, multi-value, or subnet, and etc. So this is a basic network diagram, an architecture of compromising of some of the networking components. So as you can see, we have internet access, and it can have that external load balancer, which is then coming to the NIC and the subnet part. So below we have the virtual network in the Azure region, and we have three subnets here. In that, we have two VMs, which NIC is attached, and then it can publicly access the internet through external load balancer. In the second VM, we have one internal load balancer and a VPN gateway setup to have that connectivity from on-premises to data center, on-premises data center to the Azure setup. And another subnet, we have an internal load balancer connecting both the VMs and the NSG. So it is not able to access the internet publicly, but it can access it. I hope you are now able to understand that in what use cases we use networking components and how do we use it. Coming to the Azure AI services. Okay, so with AI, we can build solutions that seemed like science fiction a short time ago, enabling incredible advances in healthcare, financial management, environmental protection, and a lot of other things. We can quickly and easily build, train, and deploy machine learning models using Azure Machine Learning and Azure Databricks. So I hope that a lot of you are already fan of Marvel, DC, or such series which are a part of Universal comic cosplay. Back in 2020, Universal decided to join hands with Microsoft Azure for the AI services so that they can directly build all their animations and AI things that are used in their movies with Azure only. So the users can experience a whole new setup and the concept which was never seen before. So here are some features of Azure AI services, like from modernizing business processes to accelerate development, run securely anywhere, and improving customer experiences and combating financial crime. So modernizing business procedures means that we always use task specific AI to solve the common scenarios. Like if we are building a website where we want to communicate directly, like if we have a client that wants to ask something, we'll develop a chatbot for them. And if on the banking side, if we have something, then we can develop another chatbot or a service which can directly tell the problem and tell the solution to the problem we are asking. Accelerating development means that we deploy the solutions faster with a business built-in logic. It can run securely to anywhere to everywhere, safeguarding the organization's data from cloud to intelligent edge. So whenever it comes to the security part, plays a major role. Like it is contradictory. It is cloud. It is a public cloud, and the data is secured. It is very much secured, more secured than your on-prem data, and it is very much important to understand that as cloud stores all the data very securely, we can set up the AI services or the VM or the machine learning data breaks or big data, all the databases in cloud securely. It also helps to improve the customer experiences, as whenever we understand the customer and their needs, then we can directly contact centers, personalized portfolio management, and proactive offers powered by AI. As Microsoft Azure uses Cortana as its AI, we can build several other things with the help of AI and combat financial crime, like to prevent fraud with machine learning models that detect anomalies, enhance knowledge graphs to find relationships between disparate entities. So we can build some models with decision tree, random theory, and then we can say that okay, this is the anomaly detection, and we can use it in cybersecurity models as well. Here are the layers. Okay, so this is another important thing. These I said the layers in the visual tools because everything is interlinked. As we can see that in the deep layer we have deep learning, then machine learning, and then artificial intelligence. Microsoft Azure provides the machine learning service, and which is a cloud-based platform for creating, managing, and publishing machine learning models. And with Azure machine learning, it provides features and capabilities like pipelines, automated machine learning, Azure Machine Learning Designer, data and compute management, automated machine learning, etc. And this features also enables the non-experts, which are not, which have never been a part of ML, to quickly create an effective machine learning model from the data present there, like with the help of Azure Machine Learning Designer, a graphic interface enable no code development of machine learning solutions or the data and the compute management. We also have Azure Machine Learning Studio, which is a web portal for machine learning solutions in Azure, and it includes a wide range of features like the data scientists prepare the data, train models, publish predictive services, and monitor their usage. As we can see, the deep learning involves neural network, build, train, and deploy models. Then we come up to the AI part, which includes conversational AI, NLP, computer vision, anomaly detection, prediction, and forecasting. So, as I said about computer vision, I would just like to describe a little bit about it. That computer vision is an area of AI that deals with visual processing, and most computer vision solutions are based on machine learning models that can be applied to visual input from cameras, videos, or images. Then NLP, yes. So, NLP, which is natural language processing, it is an area of AI that deals with creating software that understands written and spoken language. And NLP enables us to create software that can analyze and interpret text in documents, email messages, and other resources, just like we use Google Lens. And then we have interpret spoken language, synthesize speech responses, automatically translate spoken and written phrases into languages, and interpret commands and determine appropriate actions. So with this we can use to directly create a model that can give text to speech analysis on a lot of languages, or directly see what is written on a board and then create the language you want. And in Microsoft Azure, we can see cognitive services, which is used to build NLP processing solutions, like the language, which is used to access services for understanding and analyzing text, training language models that can understand spoken or text based commands. And then we have a translator, which is used to translate the text between more than 60 languages. So at present, Azure is capable to translate it between 60 languages. And the speech is then used to recognize and synthesize speech and translate spoken languages. And last, we have the Azure bot, which basically It provides a conversational AI and the capability of software, which is also known as agent, to participate in the conversation. If I would explain it in an easy way, I can say that developers can use that bot framework to create that bot and manage it with Azure bot services and integrate it back in service like language or connecting it to channels for web chat, email, Microsoft Teams, and others. Where we have a lot of advantages, we do have some challenges and risks with AI. So, artificial intelligence is a powerful tool that can be used greatly benefit the world. However, like any other tool, it must be used responsibly because it has some challenges and a risk associated with it. If I explain the challenge, like bias can affect the results. If let's take an example, a very simple use case of a loan approval model that discriminates between gender due to bias in the data and which it was trained. So suppose if I'm talking about discrimination, let's take like if the loan approval model is going to give loan on less interest, a good amount of loan on less interest to the females, and it will not be given to the males, or it can be vice versa, then this can give a biased results which will not be beneficial for the society. If we talk about the errors that may cause harm, then if we are talking about the autonomous vehicle experience, which may cause a system failure and then cause a collision, that will again be a huge damage, and the data could be exposed. So let's take a use case that whenever we go to a doctor, um, our data, the patient's data, is always secure, is kept secure. So if a medical diagnostic bot is created and then it is trained using sensitive patient data to check the future analysis or check like just the COVID data, to check the whole data about how many people are affected or not. If it is secured if it is stored insecurely, then the results can used for the wrong purposes, or it would be directly harmful to the patients. Next, we have like solutions that may not work for everyone. um, just like we have Alexa and Google Mini or Azure Bot, we can say that if a home automation assistant is there and it provides no audio output for visually impaired users, then how can we use it for all the use cases? Whenever we develop a solution or we launch a new product from any part of the service, then we always make sure that it is helpful for everyone and not for the specific uh, point of people or anything. It is a marketing strategy as well as a common procedure that everyone follows. Users that must trust a complex system. So, the most complex system we can ever know is the financial system. If a AI based financial tool makes an investment recommendations, then what will it be basically based on? Like if the model is not trained well, then it can give wrong investments, and if it does not have the appropriate data or the latest trends, then it will give the outdated news which can directly affect the people's money. Who's basically liable for AI driven decisions? So if an innocent person will be convicted of a crime based on the evidence from facial recognition, then who's responsible? Like if he's evacuated and then everything, all the charges are taken against him, then who's responsible? Just because if AI's facial recognition system is accepting him. With this, we have two use cases. Like one use case we can talk about that creating payments method for B2B services in association with Microsoft Teams, which can be used directly for payments across the teams or the B2B services are one of the examples of using Azure AI. Or another example we can use is of NLP, which we have to transmit the text to speech analysis directly from all the 60 languages. And with this, I would just like to end up my presentation. I'm sorry for not giving up a demo and overing it simply, but I would really like if I could do it with a demo. But it's okay for this time, I hope. And if you have any questions, we can directly connect to LinkedIn or Twitter. Or we can ask right now also. But afterwards, if you have any kind of questions or anything for me, we can directly connect on LinkedIn and Twitter. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Simran, for the wonderful session. I hope everyone did get an idea of the networking and the AI part. So we are sorry that we are like it's not having the demo. I think we can certainly try and get another session with the demo itself. So in the meantime, if you guys have any questions so far you can ask this time.
Yes, for next time, I'm pretty sure that I'll be having that demo before, and we'll be seeing a lot of services in depth. Like if you are working on, yes, we will work on the demo part. And next time, like if I am presenting for the load balance or any services, I'll make sure that we work on depth, and I'll show it to you directly.
Yes, great.
I don't Okay, I don't have that link to view the demo part right now, but Surak, Chitan, and we can set up another call soon, as soon as my Azure portal gets okay, and then we can set up the demo.
Sure, sounds good. I think there are a few questions in the chat box.
Yes, yes, I was reading the chat box only. From there only I'm saying all of it. Okay, so just for the additional information, I would just like to say that clearing certifications, going through the documents and everything is pretty easy. But if you're working on a business use case, if you're working with an organization, it is very much important for all of us to get at least a basic knowledge of everything, like from AI, machine learning, DevOps, or networking side, that whatever is just going from IaaS, PaaS, or SaaS service, we should know that what is on the surface, what are we doing on the deep, and how the services are working. Because whenever a use case, like suppose a financial company like ICICI or HDFC comes and they want a solution, we should be able to provide that solution based on the interlinking of all the components. Whenever a network architecture diagram is made, it is not made on a specific component or the IS service, but it is made keeping in mind of the customer's needs, and they want the whole solution. So we should know that our main agenda is to know at least about all the services we have in Azure or any other cloud. Yeah, so at a creation level of load balancer, we barely see any error, but I see that Surag has shared the the Discord link for the community. I'll share the logs for at that moment only for the load balancer, and I'll help you out for sure if if any one of you have encountered an error on which we can troubleshoot. What is necessary to get a job as a cloud engineer? Okay, so it depends. Like it depends from organization to organization, but the most basic needs of everywhere is that you should know the basics of cloud, and it covers from you should have a knowledge of public cloud and private cloud. What are the services like IaaS, PaaS service or SaaS service, which is software as a service, what it provides, like what are the cloud offerings, the basic GK about it, what is going nowadays. Like if we have traffic director, then how the traffic director is used, just a normal use case if you go to work as a cloud engineer. And if I, as I said already, that the basics of all the clouds is same. Like if you want to work in Azure, AWS, Google, or in fact Oracle, the networking components or the basics like load balancer, L7, L4, or the VPN gateways, everything is very much, very much similar. Just the notations are different. Do you have any advice or skills language for students to get in? Okay, so as per a programming language, you can you can work on your Python as well as Java. It will not only help you with the AI or machine learning part, but it will also help you with the DevOps part, as it includes the cloud functions or the cloud run. So whenever we are there to write a code, we cannot get over that coding part in our lives. Okay, so we always have to keep that coding. We can use that skill, Python or Java or any other language like Node.js, to use creating that AI bot or creating a cloud function which is useful. How do you get past 1 3 work experience required? I'm sorry, Rodolphe. Can you explain your question? Like, can you reframe that, because I'm not able to understand it. And Kevin, do we need to know all cloud platforms? We can, it depends on person to person. We can stick to a cloud uh, and master it completely and then move to another cloud, because experiencing all the clouds is not at all a problem. But mastering one cloud is, of course, one of the most important skills we can have. Okay, thanks, Rodolph. So usually jobs require 1 to 3 years of work experience as an entry level person in cloud. And how do we get that job if we if they require work experience right away? Okay, so um you must have seen, like if I go through LinkedIn job opportunities, if a good company, like if it is not a startup, and if it is a company, uh, an MNC basically, it has already said that it needs 5 to 8 years of work experience in software and industry experience, and then they need 3 to 4 years of cloud experience. I'll just tell you why they said, because they want a senior person who can understand the needs of the customer directly without having any kind of chaos, and then they should be able to provide the solutions to them to the clients. So the MNCs require people with 5 to 8 years of experience and cloud knowledge of 2 to 3 years. That should work. But if you need to get in the cloud right away, like you don't have that work experience, I would suggest to work in a startup companies or in a mid-sized companies that give you a very good exposure with all the services, because they have different perspectives, they have different use cases to come up with. You gain your work experience and the cloud experience as well. So that is very important. And the uh, early moments of your work experience actually nurtures you for all the next years. With that, you can actually master that cloud in less time also, because you are always used to work in all the use cases, and then you can work upon your liabilities on your experiences. The pressure is also sometimes high, which can give you immense work exposure on how do you work in like with major projects or with different use cases. How do you basically make a net architecture diagram or any other things. I hope I'm able to tell you about that. And also, if you think that companies need work experience, then you if you're not from the cloud environment already, so you can still do your job. Attend Microsoft virtual trainings, which are of free, and then you will be getting a voucher. Have that certification, clear it, and then you can directly get a job in cloud, as you have certified that particular. Like I have certified in 6 Azure certifications, which includes the AI fundamentals, Azure fundamentals, and I am also a Azure administrator. So from that, as I gained those certifications, it was easy for me to have a job which basically demanded more than 3 years of experience. But when I was applying for it, I had only 1 year of experience. That too, including my internship period. Okay, so Ashok, what should we learn to work as a cloud associate intern, and what level of guidance do we receive? Okay, so in the internship, Ashok, we do receive a lot of information, a lot of experience, a lot of exposure in that moment, because I'm sure as Chaitanya is working here, he has just passed out his college, and he got a major exposure. Same here for me, that I have worked in an internship which gave a lot of exposure, and the least you can receive is the uh, knowledge you have gained, and the certifications you can do with that work exposures. Also, to work as a cloud associate intern, you should have just basic knowledge of what public cloud and private cloud is, or how the network components work. Carol, I'm sorry, but I have ended the presentation. It was over. Sura, can you please help with that recording
Yeah,
for the
so the
session?
recording is going to be done and then we'll be uploading in our YouTube channel. And I have shared that link in the chat box itself, but I'll do it again. Maybe you won't see it, it's in the previous one, but we'll be sending out the email as well. And okay, also Simran, I wanted to help if you are okay with the sharing the presentation with me, so I can
Sure.
share it with the, okay, great. Then there will be a presentation in the email as well. Great.
Okay, and for the next time, I'll have that demo, and we'll see everything in depth, so that we can go through a cloud knowledge perfectly. How do
Great.
we have a Microsoft Azure virtual training? Is there any link to find the details? Yes, so you can directly search Microsoft virtual training. You'll go through a link that provides a lot of virtual trainings on the other days, and then you can select one of them as per your availability, attend that. It is basically 2 to 3 hours virtual training session, and then you'll get a voucher from which you can directly prepare for the certification exams and you can clear it. If I get that link anytime soon, I'll provide it on the Discord community. By getting the certification in Microsoft Azure, which industry and what kind of jobs we can land for freshie. Okay, so as per my experience, Dave, I would say that after getting that certificate, Microsoft Azure certificate, uh, that certificate matters. Like if you are already aware of AI, then you can get an ML engineer job. If you are if you have done the data engineer or the data certification, then you can get a data engineer job. If you have done fundamentals or administrator role, then you can get anything like from being a cloud engineer, DevOps engineer, to ML and data engineer. And you can also get a network security. Like, so a lot of companies says that it has a cloud SRE engineer, which is like site reliability engineer. And we do target a lot of what should I say, designations or positions that we can have for freshers after having that certifications. I do have IBM cloud certification. I am clueless on how to apply for an internship or how to start career in this field. Okay, so Ashok, if you have IBM cloud certifications, I would say that if you are thinking to, start a career with that certification only, then you should search on LinkedIn based on your certification. Like, just have that filter that works on IBM cloud, and you can start applying for it. Also, uh, as well as when you apply, just start some free courses. Like, there are some free Udemy courses or some courses on YouTube as well, which can, which, even if it will not work on certifications, or you'll not get any kind of certificate from that, you will get a good amount of knowledge that can help you to start your career with, if you want to work with a startup company that works on Azure, or a mid-sized company also that start working on Azure, then you can directly get into it. It's just a game of knowledge.
I think there is all the questions been answered. Yeah. So thank you, Simran, for the wonderful session, and I hope you guys have learned uh, on networking and AI. So, and thank you all for joining today's session. And I'll be following up on email with the recording and the presentation shortly after an hour. Thank you all for joining.